Good morning. So it's about 23 minutes past 2 in the morning here in the UK, and this is my workspace. I'm doing a night shift tonight, covering phone lines, and I'm going to take a quick break. So, what am I going to look at? What am I working on? Well, I'm making this with the cameras. So this is going to be for Luna, and this is going to be one of my little robots to go driving around. And it's made from a old Evil Bear drone, and the wheels normally sit up. You can see kind of like a little recess in there in the body. The wheels would normally sit in that position, but I thought for the moon I might want to be raised up a little bit more because it's less military and more sort of utilitarian, I guess is the word. I've been working on some of these baby carriers. I'm actually surprised you can see as much as you can. Let's put a bit more light in there. Is that enough light? Or is that too much light? That's too much light. And I've got some unboxing videos to come up soon. I'm a tiger. I've got this one. Dun dun dun. And I got this one. Dun dun dun. Now, what can I say about the He-Man game, or Masters of the Universe Battlegrounds? It's not a bad game. I've only played it against myself so far, once. I did about 3 or 4 turns, and I learned a lot as I was going through it, from first turn to 3rd to 4th turn. It's pretty good, it's pretty simple. I played against myself, and if you can play a game against yourself with my lack of intelligence, then it's a pretty good game. I'm not sure where I was going with that. Anyway, we're about 3 minutes in, and what am I going to talk about? Is 40k any good? Now, you see, I went to a club today and they were playing Warhammer 40,000 or Age of Sigmar, and the 40k people, I've noticed a lot of people are playing 40k, which is fair because it's a very popular game. But is the game any good? Well, it's alright. It's an alright game. Historically, Rogue Trader was, in its time, a good game, and it hasn't really changed a great deal in all these decades, really. It's had a few changes where they kind of brought in like armor penetration and stuff like that, or changed the name of things, or dropped a few stats, but overall it's not changed a great deal, apart from now you have a you used to have a 6x4 table, and now you have a slightly smaller table. And it used to be you probably had about 20, maybe 25 models max on the table back in Rogue Trader, and now you have probably double that, even more, and they've added extra things as well, like cards, or should I say command points, strategy points, whatever you want to call them, stratagems. There's a lot more rules involved with your models, so it's a lot more to sort of remember. There's a lot more to deal with in a game. and it kind of really drags the game out. I'm not sure that's good. With a lot less models and a lot larger playing area, the game was more an adventure originally, and the stat line, it was kind of a semi-role play, and it was never really, I don't feel, designed for the style and size game that we have now. Crucify me for that if you wish. I would say even Age of Sigmar, I don't think is suitable for the size games that people are playing. And there are, I hate to say it, better game systems out there. I don't hate to say it actually, I quite like saying it. There's better game systems out there. 40k is not the best game system. It's definitely not. The way the points values is they keep changing things, and my battery went all a bit funny then. I don't know what bit got missed there. So points values at Games Workshop are just going up and down all over the place. They've been changing things. They've just done like a little update where they've changed all the little rules on how things work and I think a lot of the problem is that the Games Workshop have got now, there is such a variety of models and such a variety of stuff that with a D6 system you're kind of restricted. There's a lot of models in armies that are doing the same thing as other models in the same army. And that's partially due to the D6 and partially just due to the sheer bloat of ideas that have gone into the games, and just, it's like, oh, let's make this model, it's really cool. It's like, which is fine, absolutely brilliant, but then what do you do with the rules? You've got Cloud 2 chainsaws, Cloud 2 whips. They're going to be pretty similar-ish and fill the same sort of role. So yeah, 40k is not that great. I'm sorry to say that. I think Kill Team, from what I've seen, I haven't played Kill Team on hands up, is probably better than 40k because it's been designed for what it does. 40k was designed for what Kill Team does in the past. I love the 40k universe. Look, damn it, I got these dudes. I got 3 of them. 3 baby carriers. I've got a Force for Necromunda. I love the universe, don't get me wrong. I just don't enjoy the games. And there's a lot of resistance to the way that 40k has become now, sort of, as it's so commercial, to change things within it. So, for example, back in Rogue Trader, you could go, you know what, let's just do some alternative activation. And your opponent would be going, yeah, let's give that a go. But you try to do that at 40k now, there'd be resistance. It's like, yeah, but the points are, and we're competitive, and that's not the idea, that's not how games work. So yeah, you have that, whilst if you go for something like, say, one-page rules, for example, and you say, oh, let's do this, for example, your opponent will go, yeah, we'll give that a go, can't we? Because the rules are quite simple. They do what we want, but we can change that and see how it works. And it's not going to make a huge difference in time. Whilst 40k is very, very sort of, it eats up a lot of time to play it. That might be fine for some people, but yeah, not for me. with 40k is, have you noticed that all the models are becoming monopose? There's very little variation within them. And yeah, I just kind of feel that that's kind of, we've lost what we had in sort of the middle hammer era. Was a lot of multi-posing, a lot of, you know, early Warhammer, early War 40k was a lot of monopose metal models. But the models back then had a lot of character. There's a lot of character. I like character in models. Just some thoughts, really. You're going to disagree with me, and that's absolutely fine. And I want you to disagree down below. Tell me what you think. Is 40k, the game system, as in the mechanics, is it rubbish? Well, I don't know why I did that for mechanics. Is it like a spanner? Am I a spanner? Yeah. Is the 40k mechanics rubbish? Are they? What would you do to improve the 40k mechanics? I would probably take a lot of ideas from Star Wars Legion. Star Wars Legion is a pretty good game. I'm not going to say it's perfect, but the way that you move the unit leader and then everybody within the unit moves around them, but you measure from the unit leader to the nearest model in the enemy unit. Nice and simple, rather than this 2 inches here, 2 inches there between models, whatever, or an inch, whatever they want to change it to as they change versions. We don't need that. The Star Wars Legion didn't come up with that system, by the way. That was taken from AT-43. AT-43 was a good game. It had a lot of promise, wasn't perfect. No game is. It's like, is D6 the perfect dice to use? Are D8? Are D10? Are multiple different types of dice usable in a game? D6 are nice and easy. D10 are incredibly random. They just feel incredibly random with D10. D8s are pretty good, but they're a bit like D10, they don't feel right. D6 feel right. I don't know why D6 feel right, but I prefer, after all that said, I prefer D10. The new War Machines coming out now, they used to use a 2d6 system where you roll 2d6, and if you wanted to boost, add another d6. Nice and simple. I think they should go d12. D12, and if you want to boost, add a d6. I think that would be a lot more interesting. Because at least you can see the boost effect as well within the dice, and then you can put rules in about the boost. So, yeah. Now D12 is an interesting one. D12 would make 40k a lot more interesting. It would double the differences. Yeah. Anyway, I've got to get back to work. I've got to do a bit of typing stuff in. Make myself look useful. And if a call comes in, answer it. It's a bank holiday weekend. Don't think I'll get much. Might get some painting done. Who knows? I don't know. I know nothing. And that clock behind me, is that clock right or wrong? 2:37? It's wrong. I don't think he's even working. Is it working? That little hand going around? I think the bottom hand's stuck. Yep, the second hand I think is stuck. Totally stuck. Yep, that clock is absolutely stuffed. has stopped. But I suppose I better get back to it. Love you and leave you. Remember, let me know what you think.